അശ്വഷിന് ഓൺലൈനിലായിരുന്നു മഴയല്ലേ മഴയായിട്ട് ഓൺലൈൻ ക്ലാസ് ആക്കിയിട്ട് അശ്വതിന് പിന്നെ കഴിഞ്ഞ് അടച്ച് ഇനി ആറ്റിലാവുന്ന സ്കൂൾ സ്റ്റാർട്ട് ചെയ്യും അങ്ങനെ അശ്വന്ത് തേർഡ് സ്റ്റാൻഡേർഡിലേക്കാവും ഇവർക്ക് 2 ആഴ്ച കൂട്ടും ഇവിടെ എക്സാം ഓർമ്മ ഞാൻ അന്നോട് പറഞ്ഞു എക്സാമിൻ്റെ ബിസിയാണെന്ന് എക്സാം കഴിഞ്ഞ് പിന്നെ കൂട്ടി ഇനിയിപ്പോൾ 6-ന് പുറത്തു പിന്നെ +2 ആയതുകൊണ്ട് അവർക്ക് വേറെ തന്നെ ഇവിടെ ക്ലാസ് സ്റ്റാർട്ടായി SLCയും +2 ഇവിടെ വേറെ ക്ലാസ് സ്റ്റാർട്ടാവും SLC ഓൺലൈനിലാണ് എടുക്കുന്നത് അവർ മഴയെല്ലാം കൊണ്ട് പിന്നെ ഇത് മഴ നാളെ വരെ ഉണ്ടെന്നാണ് പറഞ്ഞത് 3 ആളായിട്ടും കുറേ ആൾ മരിച്ച് മഴയത്ത് ഇങ്ങനെ വണ്ടിയിൽ പോയിട്ട് മുങ്ങിപ്പോയി
different roles that we're going to have in the server, and then we'll start diving into the permissions tab here and talking about all the different permissions and what permissions you should enable your members to have, your moderators to have, everything like that. So after clicking that create role button, you should have a new role here. What we're going to do is go ahead and just edit the name, and the first role we're going to make is a basic member.
ഇന്നലെ പിന്നെ കിടക്കണ്ടെന്ന് വിചാരിച്ചു കുറച്ച് ലേറ്റ് ആയി പോയി
colors, or you can also click on the custom color box here and you can choose any color you want. Even if you have a specific hex code, you can come down here and type in that specific hex code for the color that you want. And then if you scroll down a little bit more, you're going to see a setting down here called display role members separately from online members. Basically what this setting down here does, if you come over here and you look, if I was to assign myself the member role, you can see that I now show as the blue color of the member role that we just created, but I'm showing under online over here on the member list. If we were to come back into our server settings over here and come back to roles, go to our member role, and we were to now turn on this display.
അവര് പിന്നീട് തരാമല്ലോ എക്സാമിന് കഴിയുമ്പോൾ വെക്കേഷൻ ടൈം ആകുമ്പോഴത്തേക്ക്
Separately from online members, they save our changes. Essentially what that does is you can see I'm now actually displaying over here under the role of member rather than just showing under online. It's just a very nice way to be able to kind of organize your roles and everything better overall, right?
അവർക്ക് വെക്കേഷൻ കുറവാണ് അവൻ എക്സ്ട്രാ വെക്കേഷൻ എടുത്തിട്ട് വരുന്നതായിരിക്കും അവിടെ ആകെ 2
So now we've got our member all set up. We're going to go ahead and create a few different roles. We're going to click the create role button a few different times just to get a few different roles set up in the server.
അവര് പിന്നീട് തരാമല്ലോ എക്സാമിന് കഴിയുമ്പോൾ വെക്കേഷൻ ടൈം ആകുമ്പോഴൊക്കെ ഇങ്ങോട്ട് വരാമല്ലോ അങ്ങനെ അശ്വദോഷിന്റെ ക്ലാസ് കയറുന്ന കുട്ടികളുണ്ട് മസൽസ് കഴിഞ്ഞിട്ട് പോയിട്ട് അവിടെ അച്ഛനൊന്നും പോണ ഹോസ്പിറ്റലിൽ പിന്നെ ഏതെല്ലാം വെക്കേഷനൊക്കെ വരുത്തുണ്ടാകും
Go ahead and just give it a purple color. Then we're going to come down here and we're going to create an add.
ഉച്ചവരെ ക്ലാസ് പക്ഷേ ഉച്ചയ്ക്ക് ശേഷം ഇവിടെ 1 മണിയായി അല്ല ഇവിടെ ഇപ്പം 2:30 ഞാൻ ഇപ്പോൾ വരുമ്പം 2:30-3 മണിയായി പിന്നെ എക്സാം ആയിരിക്കില്ലേ?
We'll go ahead and create an admin role, give it a color here. Again, make sure as you're going through to go ahead and turn on the setting down here, the display ribbons. Separately from online members, you just have your member list a little more organized over there. Then we're going to create a bot role that we're going to assign to all of our bot.
എല്ലാം തുറന്നു പറയരുത് കേട്ടാ. എന്റെ ഫ്രണ്ട്സിനോട് നീ തുറന്നു പറയണ്ട.
ശരി.
നിന്റെ അടുത്ത നീക്കം ആരും അറിയരുത്. ലക്ഷ്യം കാണുന്നവരെ എല്ലാം രഹസ്യമാക്കി വെക്കും. എന്താന്ന് വെച്ചാൽ കണ്ണു കൊടുക്കുന്നത് അങ്ങനെയല്ലേ സുജീതി? നീ കേൾക്കണ്ട. അമിതമായ വർത്തമാനം നിന്റെ കളിക്കുന്നതാണ്. പിന്നെ ശബ്ദമുണ്ടാക്കുന്നതിന്റെ ആവശ്യമില്ല.
And then lastly, we're going to create an owner role, which is have us at the very top of the server. So it's very easy for your members and everything to see that the owner is online the server. So again, choose whatever color you want.
അതാണ് ആയിപ്പോഴെന്നാണ് സാധനം. അതുകൊണ്ട് ഐസോ ഐസ് ഐസ് കേട്ടാ. വലിയ സൗണ്ട് ആക്കും.
Turn on the display role that we're separately setting. And now what we're going to do is we're going to kind of need to reorganize this a little bit. Discord works with their roles is it's based off a hierarchy system. So we're going to want to have our members, we're basically going to completely reverse this order. We're going to put our members at the very bottom. We're going to have the owner of the server at the very top, the moderators underneath the admin. So now you can see it kind of works on a hierarchy structure, right? Our members are the lowest level, then we have our bots, then we have our moderators. Which are going to be able to do a few different moderator actions, our admins, which are going to essentially be like co-owners of the server, and then ourselves as the owner. After you've done all that, you're going to want to make sure you go ahead and click the Save Changes button so you don't accidentally lose any of the progress you just did. And now we are going to start jumping into our permissions. So the first thing that we're going to work on is our permissions for Add Everyone. So you'll see in addition to all the roles you created,
for sure.
you also have something called Add Everyone, which you can't actually delete or do anything with, right? This is essentially just the default permissions for every single member in the server. So if a member joins your server, they won't have to at all. These are the default permissions that Discord is going to assign to that user. So we're going to start jumping in and talking about these different permissions. And I'm going to kind of go over the different ones that I would recommend you go ahead and disable inside your server. So the first one for Add Everyone, here you have Create Expressions turned on. Expressions on Discord is basically emojis, stickers, and soundboard sounds. That's something we're definitely going to want to disable unless you want random members to be able to just add different emojis to your server. We're going to go ahead and disable that one. So up here under our general server permissions, the only thing that you want to have enabled for Add Everyone is going to be the View Channels permission, because all of these other ones you can see are all basically management permissions, like managing channels, managing roles. Obviously, you don't want random members of your server to do that, so we are going to keep all of these.
അന്ന് ഞാൻ ഇതുപോലെ തന്നെ അവർക്ക് പറഞ്ഞു കൊടുത്തതാണ്. അന്ന് ഞാൻ പറയുകയും ചെയ്തു അനിലാട്ടനെ വിളിയെന്ന്. നമ്മൾ ആ സൈഡിലേക്ക് കൂടിയാണ് ഷണ്ണിയുടെ വീട്ടിലേക്ക് പോയത്. ഷണ്ണിയുടെ വോയിസ് പ്രകാരം എന്നിട്ടാലും വേഗം ഷണ്ണിയുടെ വീട്ടിലേക്ക് വന്നത്. പിന്നെ ബാലവാരിൻ്റെ അതും കൂടി അവർ ഉണ്ടല്ലോ, അപ്പം അങ്ങനെ അവിടെ എത്തിപ്പോയി. ഇത് അന്നേരം അനിലാട്ടനെ വിളിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ടെങ്കിൽ ക്ലിയർ ആവുമായിരുന്നു. അതിന് മുന്നേ തന്നെ ഫസ്റ്റ് ടൈം അതിലാണല്ലോ വന്നത്. ഈ വോയിസ് നന്നായിട്ട് കേൾപ്പിച്ചിട്ടുണ്ട്.
There except for the View Channels permission. Scrolling down a little bit, we'll now have membership permit. So create invite, I usually typically recommend keeping that on. Underneath that, we have the
അല്ല ഞാൻ തന്നെ നോക്കണം, IP ന്റെ നോക്കണം. ഇവന് യൂട്യൂബ് നീ അപ്പി ഉണ്ട്. അമ്മ ലൈറ്റ് ഓഫ് ആക്കി. അതിന്റെ ചാർജ് തീർക്കോ?
But users can go in and change their actual nickname, which is their display name inside your server. If you want to allow that, then you can keep that on. If you don't want to allow that, then you can turn it off. I typically recommend keeping that on. So we're going to scroll down a little bit here, and then we're going to have our text channel permissions next. Now, there are a few that I'm going to recommend disabling here. A couple of those right off the bat. We did public threads one and the create private threads one. These two permissions basically allow members to create sub-channels inside your specific channel from a specific message. The reason I recommend disabling this these days is because Discord made an update to the mobile version of the app recently, where if a member is viewing a read-only channel on the mobile app version, at the very bottom, it's going to give them an option if they want to create a thread if these permissions are turned on. So it can lead to a lot of people. It won't cause any harm to your server, but it's just basically it kind of comes off as a little bit spammy. So I recommend going ahead and disabling these permissions because of that update that came out. Scrolling down a little bit more, we're going to want to make sure that we have information at the all roles.
Just how do I turn it off?
Remove the cable.
Change നമ്മൾ പണ്ട് ഫ്ലാറ്റ് നോക്കേണ്ടിട്ട് അവിടെ നോക്കിയിരുന്നു.
That's it.
അന്ന് കേറിയില്ല. അപ്പൊ
It'll lock.
കണ്ടതായിട്ട്
Press and hold. Press and hold. Keep pressing.
Basically, this allows members to tag at everyone, which will basically send a notification to every single member inside your server. So we're going to make sure we have that disabled, and we're going to scroll down a little bit more. Send voice messages permission, that's totally up to you if you want to allow members of your server to send voice messages inside your channel. If you don't, you can turn that off. I typically just leave it on though.
Throw it in the dustbin.
Sometimes it can be nice to have like a community poll channel, just let members run whatever polls they want. But if you don't want that to happen, if you and your admins want to be the only ones that are running polls on your server, then you can go ahead and just toggle that off. So next we have all of our voice channel permissions. Next, use video, those are all fine. Use soundboard can totally be up to you. Sometimes it can be a little bit spammy. If you aren't familiar with what soundboard is, this one basically has a feature where you can like sounds that people can play inside your voice channels in your server. Sometimes it can be a little bit spammy, especially if you have the use external sounds permission on, which basically lets them use sounds that are uploaded inside other servers they're a member of. So if you want to just disable those, you're more than welcome to. Or you can keep them on and just see how your community handles it. And if you find people complaining about it, then you can come in and turn these different ones off. For now, I'm going to leave both of those on. Then we have the use voice activity permission. I typically recommend keeping this one on. Otherwise, people are going to have to use push to talk to use any of your to be able to speak inside voice channels. And for a lot of people, that can just be kind of a hassle. So we're going to make sure we go ahead and keep that on. Then we scroll down a little bit more. We have app permissions. So we will keep use application commands enabled. We'll keep use activities enabled. This allows people to play things like Wordle and different activities that Discord has directly built into the app now inside different channels in your server. So we will keep both of those on. However, the use external apps permission, this is one that we are going to definitely disable here. Now, because this permission is a little bit complex, I don't really have the time to dive into why you need to disable this permission. If you are interested, I do have a full video I posted about a couple of months ago on what this permission actually is and how it can be abused if someone does have to abuse it. So if you want to check that out, I will have a link down in the description. And then lastly, under event permissions, the create event permission, we are going to make sure we go ahead and disable that. We don't want our members to be able to create random events inside of our server. Now that we have all of our permissions updated how we want them to be, we will make sure to go ahead and click Save Changes at the bottom so we don't lose any of that progress again. So we've got all of our permissions set up for @everyone. We don't have to worry about setting up permissions for the member role because it's the exact same as @everyone. So we're going to for this role as well. So we're going to go ahead and move up to our bot role. So for the bot role, to make your life a lot easier, you don't have to do this, but I typically recommend scrolling to the very bottom of the permissions and then turning on the administrator permission for your bot role. Essentially what this administrator permission does, I mentioned it a little bit earlier, it essentially lets whoever has this permission basically act as a co-owner of your server. They basically get the ability to do every single thing
what the
you do
heck?
as the owner. The only few things that they
What the
can't
heck?
do is
It's
kick
bouncing.
you as the owner, delete the server, and they can't manage any roles that
Still
are
it's
higher
bouncing.
up on the hierarchy than their highest role. Now, the reason I recommend giving this to the bot role is it just makes your life a lot easier. As long as you're adding trusted and verified bots to your server, then you don't really have to worry about ensuring all of your bots that you have on your server have permission to do everything they need to do inside all of your different channels across your server. So it just makes your life a little bit easier. Since I'm only going to be using trusted and verified bots that have been through Discord's verifications program, I'm going to go ahead and turn that on.
You're scared, huh?
And then next up, we're going to go ahead and move up to our moderator role. So if you click on that, across your server. So it just makes your life a little bit easier. Since I'm only going to be using trusted and verified bots within the Discord verifications program, I'm going to go ahead and turn that on for my bot role here. And then next up, we're going to go ahead and move up to our moderator role. So if we click on that and scroll to the very top, let's go ahead and go through the permissions that I recommend setting up for a moderator role. Now, this is totally personal preference, but the way I like to set up a moderator role is more of just community upkeep, right? So I don't like to give them any type of server management permissions. I don't like to give them any manage roles, manage channels. I strictly just try to stick to community upkeep, right? So I'm going to go ahead and turn on the view audit log permission, which is basically going to let them access the log over here in your server settings, which if I go ahead and disable streamer mode, basically just shows you a whole running list of different changes and everything that are happening in the server. So I like to go ahead and give moderators access to that. So we will go ahead and enable that permission, if I can speak correctly. And if we scroll down under the membership permissions, there are a few that we're going to go ahead and enable here. Those are going to be the manage nicknames permission, the timeout members permission, and then kick and ban members. This can be a little bit iffy. It totally depends on how much trust you have for your moderators, right? If some of your moderators you may not know completely well, you don't have a whole lot of trust in them, it might be best to disable the ban members and kick members permission, and then you can just have your moderators time out any bad actors, and then you can leave the kicking and banning up to your actual admins. So if you do have decent trust in your mods, like I typically do, you can go ahead and come in and turn on the ban members and kick members permission. But if you aren't really sure if you have any trust in your mods, it might be.
3:10. Ashant, ew, you farted in my room. I want to fart. Can I?
Then we're going to scroll down a little bit more, and we're going to go ahead and turn on the manage messages. Permission. This is basically going to give our moderators the ability to delete messages across the Discord server. Then we're going to turn on the messages permission, which will allow them to ping messages. We're going to turn on bypass slow mode, manage threads and posts. This is kind of irrelevant unless you have, if you're going to be using forum channels, or if you ended up keeping on the ability for members to create threads. If you did keep that on, then it might be a good idea to turn this on for your moderators here. But unless you're going to be using forums or threads, you don't really have to enable this because you don't have any threads are posted. Moving down a little bit more, turn on under our voice channel permissions, we're going to turn on the mute members, the deafen members, and also move members permission. This will basically just let our moderators kind of do some community upkeep for voice channels specifically. If there's bad actors in the voice channels, our moderators have the ability to move them out of the voice channel, deafen them, all that good stuff. Those are really the only permissions I recommend enabling for a moderator role. So we will go ahead and save our changes on those now. And for our admin role, we are going to, again, just like the bot role, scroll to the very top bottom and then turn on our administrator permission. Again, it is very important though that you just ensure that
4.
At 4 o'clock?
Yes. What happened?
But I need to wake her up at 4.
Don't wake up.
I know the time already, so I could wake her up.
Okay.
So you could.
I'll tell you when it's 4 o'clock.
I know it's when it's 4 o'clock.
What's the time now?
I don't know what. I could Look at the clock.
Which clock?
Leslie. You have a.
I'll tell you when it's 4 o'clock. Don't worry.
If you only give this admin role to people you absolutely trust, they will have the ability to add bots to your server. They'll basically be able to do everything that you can do as the owner, just like I mentioned earlier, except kicking you from the server or deleting the server. So it's very important to make sure you trust whoever you give this role to. For the owner role, if you want to give the administrator permission, you can, but since we are going to be the only ones that have the owner role, it's not really as important that we assign any permissions to that, because as the actual owner of the server, you're going to have all permissions anyway. So you don't really have to add permissions to the owner role unless you just really wanted to. So now we've got all of our role permissions set up. The next thing we're going to do is actually set up our channel permissions. So there's a couple of different ways you can do this. You can come in and right click on a channel and click edit channel, and you can come in and enable different permissions for each individual channel if you wanted to. Like for example, the welcome and info category here, the main thing that we're going to be disabling is the send messages permission, because we want this to be read only. However, I'm going to show you guys a little bit of a simpler way to do this, and the way I recommend doing permissions is actually setting them up on the category rather than each individual channel. So if you right click your category and click edit category, you'll see the permissions tab on your category settings. Basically what this will do is whenever we apply, for example, if we come in and disable the send messages permission for @everyone and save our changes, what Discord is going to do is it's going to automatically sync the permissions of our category with all of our different channels that are in there. So you can see here at the top, the welcome channel inside the welcome info category now says the permissions are synced with the category, and without us having to do anything on the actual channel, you can see automatically the send messages permission is disabled for @everyone. This makes it very handy in the future if you want to create additional channels here, kind of future.
But that wasn't me. What happened?
Guess what?
Hmm?
I was going to the lot to buy something.
Then you can buy pillow from there if you want.
Nah. We're going to buy some a gift for me
Why?
because yesterday I helped them.
Okay, can I go throw this in the dustbin?
But I'm too scared.
Now I'll tell.
Future-proof things.
I'm too
For
scared.
example,
Okay.
if I just came in and created a new test channel without me having to edit the permissions or anything, by default, this new channel is automatic. Going to be read only here, so that just makes your life a lot easier as you're kind of setting up your permissions everywhere. So we're also going to do the same thing for our gesture category, which is where all of our content is going to go. So again, we're going to edit category, come to permissions. We're going to disable the send messages permission just because we don't want anyone to send messages there, and that's the only thing that we're going to really need to disable there. So now what we're going to do is go ahead and set up our mod and admin category as a private section. So again, we will edit this category, come to the permissions, and at the very top, like you saw at the beginning, when we were setting up our categories and channels, you'll see this private category option here again. We're going to go ahead and toggle this on now, and what you'll start to see is Discord is going to basically deny the view channel permission for @everyone. So category option.
I'll go to washroom and I'll be right back. Ooh, barking. You're scared, right? You're scared. You're scared. You're not scared. You want juice?
I want this.
It's in the toilet.
Want anyone to send messages there, and that's the only thing that we're going to really need to disable there. So now what we're going to do is go ahead.
Orange and lime together. Orange and lime are together. Yeah, banana went to security. Purple from Orange came here. And I farted. Rose is uploading.
What the?
Happy Ashwanda, Ashwanda, good boy, Where did I say banana was? Oh, I know. Toilet.
Go ahead and set up our mod and admin category as a private section. So again,
Lot.
Hmm?
You know what I'm going to buy in the lot?
Tell me. Clothes?
No. A Lamborghini.
Oh my god.
A toy Lamborghini
Oh my god.
for me.
Oh my god.
Because she told me that I could have.
Oh my god.
Because I helped her.
Oh my.
If you want to something like, do you want a new iPhone?
Oh my god.
Do you like iPhone?
Oh yeah.
Then you have to help your mom.
Oh my god.
Actually, I help Amma to do it, and
we will edit to this category, come to the permissions, and at the very
In the
top,
lot.
like you saw, what you will start to see is Discord is going to basically deny you channel permission for add everyone. So currently, no one's going to be able to see these channels except users with admin permissions. Now, what we are going to do, we want to
Is your name Good Boy?
members access to these channels. So we're going to click this Add Members or Roles button, and then we will see our moderator role here. We can go ahead and check that and click the Done button, and you can see Add Everyone
You
does
know,
not have
all
the
the
ability
cards
to view
have
channels, while the moderator
have
role
been a mess like this.
does now have the ability to
Oh,
view all
traffic
the
jam.
channels down here.
No,
If we click Save
because of the
Changes
heavy rain.
Oh.
and then escape back, you will now see these different lock symbols on all these channels, which are basically signifying that users with that these channels are limited or locked behind certain roles in your server. However, the one channel that we are going to change up here is the admin channel. So this is
It's
meant
the
to be private to only our
You
admins.
farted. It's not thunder.
And edit the permissions for this specific channel, and we're going to see the moderator role up here. We're going to
Today,
just go
what's
ahead
the
and
day?
click the remove access to channel button.
Hmm?
Today, what's the day?
Fart. Fart.
Here.
Click OK. That's going to remove the moderator role's ability to view the channel. So now this admin channel is going to be private to only our admins, while the mod and login channels are going to be visible to moderators and admins.
Hey, I see someone came.
So now that things are really starting to come together, we're going to jump back into our server settings by clicking our server name up here, coming into server settings, and we're going to enable the community settings for our server by clicking the enable community button down here. What this is basically going to do is give us a few different features that we don't have without being a community server, such as Discord's really cool onboarding feature, as well as server insights, which are kind of like back-end. Analytics for your Discord server, and a few additional things as well. So what we're going to do is go ahead and click the Enable Community button. Discord is going to ask you to make sure that all of your members have a verified email on their Discord account, so you'll want to make sure you go ahead and check the verified email required box, as well as turning on the explicit media content filter as well, and then you will click the next button. Next up, Discord is going to ask us to select a dedicated rules or guidelines channel. So since we already created a rules channel, we'll go ahead and click this and select our dedicated rules channel that we made, and then it's going to ask us to select a community updates channel, which they do recommend selecting a role restricted channel for. So the channel that we are going to use for this is our mod channel, because we already set this up as a role restricted channel, so only our mods and admins can.
I kind of feel bored.
Hi, board.
Access that. Then we will go ahead and click the next button. Here is where Discord would then ask you if we didn't already disable some of these permissions earlier, like the ability to create emojis and create events. This is where Discord would basically go ahead and force you to disable those for everyone. However, we already did all of that. And then the last step of this is basically going to be to agree to Discord's community.
I don't know, bro.
Server guidelines,
I
and
know
then
how to
after you
do
do that,
stick
you can
man.
click finish setup, and you will now have your server
Fine.
set up as a community server. You'll see
Which
a
one is-
few of your different servers
Okay, take that.
moved around and
Which one?
changed
That
over
one.
here, and you now have access
Small one.
to a few different things like server insights, as well as
is that
Discord's
okay if I
really
can
cool.
have your pen?
Take from that white pen. It works. Don't worry.
Is it the ink blue?
Yes.
Onboarding feature, like I was mentioning. Now, onboarding is definitely one of my favorite features that Discord offers. However, it does take a little bit of time to set up, so I won't be able to fully dive in and cover how to set up this entire feature in this video, but I do have a video link in the description below, which is a full deep dive on exactly how to set this up that I just posted last month. So after you've finished watching this video and get the whole server set up, definitely recommend heading down to the description and checking that video out so you can make sure to get this onboarding feature set up inside your server. So our foundation is really starting to come along here. The next thing that we're going to do is we're going to actually add a bot into our server and go ahead and start setting up some cool bot functionality. However, really quick before we jump into that, I do want to give another quick shout out to my partners over at Tickety. Tickety is the most robust bot when it comes to the ticketing system for Discord, but it's also the easiest to use ticketing bot on Discord. So the bot that we're going to be using in our Discord server is a really cool utility bot called Sapphire. I'm going to have a link to it down in the description below, so you can make sure to come here and be able to get the bot added to your server. The reason I really recommend this bot is they are 100% free. They don't have any of their actual features locked behind a paywall. The only thing that's locked behind a paywall is the custom branding, which basically lets you add a custom version of the bot into your server. They'll basically make it kind of look like your own custom bot without all the Sapphire branding on it. That's the only thing that they charge for in their premium service. So by far, definitely recommend Sapphire. So what we're going to do is just click the Add to Discord button. After you click that, if you're not already signed into your Discord account, you will have to do that. Once you sign in with your
Bro.
Discord account, it will then ask you to select the
Bruh.
server that you want to add the bot to. I'm going to go ahead and select my 2026 tutorial server. We'll click the continue button. It's going to ask us what permissions we want to grant Sapphire inside our server. We're going to go ahead and just continue with all of the permissions that the bot recommends. So we're going to click the authorize button. After a few seconds, this will then take us onto the Sapphire dashboard. And if we come over here into
Fish, is it okay if I can use your phone?
No, I'm using it.
What are you going to use?
You want Amma's phone? Achan's phone?
Yeah? with me.
Okay.
Our server, we will see that we now have the Sapphire bot inside our Discord. So there's a couple of things that we're going to want to do. First thing on the Discord side, is we're going to want to go ahead and add the bot role to the Sapphire bot. So we're going to right click on Sapphire here on our member list. Add the bot role to the Sapphire bot. So we're going to right click on Sapphire. Here on our member list, hover over roles, and then we're going to go ahead and toggle on the bot role. The next thing that we're going to do is you will see in your general channel, Discord probably sent a welcome message letting you know that someone just joined your server, where you can see right here it's telling us that Sapphire just joined the server. Since Sapphire has a built-in welcome message, we're actually going to go in and go ahead and disable Discord's built-in one. So we're going to come into our server settings up here. Here, and then towards the top you'll see the engagement tab. You click that and then you'll see the system messages options up here towards the top. There's a few that we're going to disable. Those are going to be sending a random welcome message, prompting members to reply to the welcome message, and then also helpful tips for server setup. We're going to go ahead and disable all those and then save our changes. Now we've done all that, we're going to jump over to our Sapphire dashboard over here. Since we added the bot role to our bot, we're going to click this little refresh button, which is basically going to refresh the dashboard with all of the changes we've made inside our Discord server since we loaded this page. So now we are going to start configuring the bot a little bit. The first thing we're going to do is we're going to set up Sapphire's welcome message feature. So down here towards the bottom, we'll click on the welcome messages tab, and then the one that we are going to set up is a join message, which is basically going to prompt Sapphire to send a message whenever someone joins the server. So we're going to click that, and then we can have up to 3 messages. We're only going to be using 1, so we're going to click the plus new message button here, and Sapphire is going to ask us what channel we want the message to be sent to, which is going to be the welcome channel. So we'll click that, and then click continue styling message. Here is where you can edit what the message is going to say. So if you wanted to add some custom text here, you're welcome to go ahead and change that. I, however, am going to just stick with the default text, and there is one more thing that we're going to add by coming over here to the dynamic images option. So we're going to add a new dynamic image, and then we're going to click this attach to message button. We're going to select our message 1, and we're going to go ahead and click right here where it says click to select slot, and then we're going to go back to messages and save our changes. Basically what this is going to do is anytime a user joins your server, Sapphire is going to send the actual text welcoming the user, and it's going to have a nice little graphic here where it's going to have the user's profile picture in the middle, show them what member of the server they are, and basically just have a nice little graphic welcoming them to the server as well. So now we've got our welcome message set up. We're now going to set up a join role. So if we click on the join roles feature, what this is basically going to do is whenever a user joins your server, Sapphire is going to automatically assign them a role. The role that we are going to use for this is the member role that we created earlier. So we'll go ahead and select that role and then click save changes here at the bottom. Now the next thing we're going to set up is a little bit of auto moderation. And click save changes here at the bottom. Now the next thing we're going to set up is a little bit of auto moderation. I'm going to go a little bit quicker on this because I actually do have a full dedicated video on auto moderation with Sapphire and Discord. If you're interested in checking that out, again, there will be a link in the description to that below. We are going to go through and set up the advanced auto moderation. So we'll click on that, and there's a couple of different things that we're going to set up here. The first one is going to be a spam filter. This is basically going to automatically delete a bunch of messages if a user tries to spam a channel. So what we're going to do is click add condition, and then the default setting is going to be if a user sends more than 3 messages with spam. If you wanted to adjust this, you can click on this here. You can select the number of messages and then change the number of seconds if you wish. I'm going to stick with the 3 messages in 5 seconds. Now we're going to have to set up specific actions that Sapphire is going to do if a user does this. So what we're going to do is click the plus button, and we're going to have a plethora of different actions that Sapphire can do when a user spams messages. There's going to be 2 different ones that we're going to set up. The first one is going to be delete messages. So we're going to go ahead and click on that, and then Sapphire is basically going to ask us, do we want it to delete all messages that the user just spammed, or only delete the overflow, which means it would only delete everything after those first 3 messages. We're going to go with delete all, so that way it just deletes all of the messages that user just spammed. So now that we've clicked that, we'll go ahead and click the X. We're going to add 1 additional action, so we're going to click the plus button again. We're going to scroll down a little bit until we find, or actually not scroll down, it's up here at the top. We're going to add the report to moderators action as well. What this is basically going to do is create a small little log report. So we already set up a logging channel a little bit earlier, so we're going to go ahead and select our logging channel with this, and Sapphire is going to ask us to enter in a We already set up a logging channel a little bit earlier. So we're going to go ahead and select our logging channel with this, and Sapphire is going to ask us to enter in a reason for the report. Since this is the message spam filter, we're going to go ahead and set this up as the report reason being message spam. Then we're going to click save changes. Now, if you wanted to test this filter out, you can come into any channels of your server, and if you start just spamming a bunch of messages, you'll see immediately Sapphire is going to delete all of that, and it's going to generate that report that we just set up here inside your logging channel, basically letting you know what just happened. Now, obviously, since we're the owner of the server, we don't really want it to delete our messages if we spam. So what you can do is click the manage roles button here, and this is where you can set up certain roles to be excluded from this auto moderation filter. So the roles that we are going to add are going to be the owner role, the admin role, as well as the moderator role. So these roles will not be affected by the spam filter. We're going to go ahead and click save changes down here now as well. So now we've got our server set up with some anti-spam protection. The next thing we're going to do is jump over to the social notifications tab, and we're actually going to go ahead and set up our YouTube channel so all of our YouTube content will be automated. Now, if you are interested in a deeper dive on this topic as well, there will be a video down below, but we are going to go ahead and proceed by just clicking the setup. up button here on YouTube, and we're going to go ahead and set up my YouTube channel here to have all of our content automated. So you should just be able to type in your YouTube channel. After a few seconds, you should see that it's
lost it, man. Will be cool if you click
Okay, you make.
Like you have in YouTube while you're watching like.
Okay, you make. I'll let me do this.
You go ahead and click the continue button, and then Sapphire is going to ask us what channel do we need it. If you wanted to customize things a bit more, you can click open in it. You can set up a custom message for the bot to send, all that good stuff. For time's sake, I'm not going to dive too deep into that in this video, since I do have a dedicated video on my channel already. So the very last thing we're going to set up with the Sapphire bot is a nice little embedded message to be sent for our rules. So if you click on the messages tab here, you will see templates up here at the top. We're going to click create new template, and we're going to go ahead and type in rules for the name of the template. We're going to go ahead and add this new template, and then we're going to be able to start typing in a custom message to be set up. Now, I actually have a rules template that I'm going to be using in this video here, so I'm going to go ahead and come over in my main community server. If you aren't a member of this, I will have a link down in the description, but it is discord.gg/gesture. If you join my main community server here, you will find a Discord help FAQ channel. If you come here, we have a lot of extremely helpful resources in this channel, such as a server rules template that's basically an all-encompassing rule set that you're welcome to just copy and paste to be able to start out with. So all we're going to do is go ahead and come over here, and we're going to right
Who's making the sound, bro? The police is calling. $347.
What is after 347?
340.
Then
1 second.
Click on this message that I have in my FAQ channel, and we're going to go ahead and click copy text. Now that we have that copy to our clipboard, we're going to come to Sapphire, we're going to delete all of the preset message there, and then we're going to click plus embed to turn this into an embedded message, which is going to let you give it a title. So I'm just going to go ahead and type in server rules as the title, and then we're going to give it a description, which is the
OMG.
Basically the body of the message. So since we have this copied to our clipboard, we're just going to go ahead and paste everything here, and then I will go ahead and delete the little note at the top, which is the general rules and guidelines. That you can paste in your server, and now we have a very clean rules message. If we come here and preview it, you can see we've got some nice formatting with the bold and underline and everything. So now that we have it the way we want, we'll go ahead and click the Use tab. This is where you can select a specific channel that you want the message to be sent to. So jumping back over to our Discord server here, if we look at the rules channel and we go ahead and click a channel, select the rules channel, send the message. After about a second or two, you can see Sapphire will go ahead and send the message that we just created inside the rules channel of your Discord. See Sapphire will go ahead and our Discord server here. If we look at the rules channel and we go ahead and click a channel, select the rules channel, send the message. After about a second or two,
Goose is messaging. Goose said poo poo. Just kidding, bro.
see Sapphire will go ahead and send the message that we just created inside the rules channel of your Discord server. If you made it this far in the video, we are now officially in the home stretch. I mentioned at the start of the video that we're going to come back to our channels and categories and give them a little bit of visual flair, so that's what we're now going to do. If you've used Discord before, you've probably seen that you can do some really neat stuff with your channel names, just give them a nice look. For example, like I mentioned earlier, if you were just to type in an emoji and then input a space, you can see Discord's going to give you that little dash there, and it just doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing as something like this with these nice little bullet symbols that have the natural spacing on each side of them, which allows you to not have to actually input a space, giving you that dash. So there's two different symbols that I'm actually going to be using now. It just...
No, I'll tell Lesson if you test my computer that you fart in my laptop. That wasn't me.
Doesn't look as aesthetically pleasing as something like this with these nice little bullet symbols that have the natural spacing on each side of them, which allows you to not have to actually input a space, giving you that dash. So there's two different symbols that I'm actually going to be using that I'll have linked down in the description below for you, which is going to be this little dot bullet symbol for our channel names.
If I press this button,
category names, there's this very nice little small vertical line.
Who helped you get the phone?
However, there's a lot of different symbols.
I just kept it on the
I'm
table.
going to have this website linked in the description as well. It's called coolsymbol.com. If you come here, they've got a bunch of really cool symbols that you can easily just copy and paste inside your Discord server. So you're welcome to come here and browse, which allows you to not have to actually input
my fart brother.
a space, giving you that dash. So there's two different symbols that I'm actually going to be using that I'll have linked down in the description below for you, which is going to be this little dot bullet symbol for our channel names, and then for our category names, there's this very nice little small vertical line that we're going to be using for those. However, there's a lot of different symbols that you can utilize. I'm going to have this website website linked in the description as well. It's called coolsymbol.com. If you come here, they've got a bunch of really cool symbols that you can easily just copy and paste inside your Discord server. So you're welcome to come here and browse through some of the different options that they have here that you can just copy and paste into your channel names. So first we're going to go through and do the category. Since I've already got this symbol copied, we're going to click edit category, and then like I mentioned, Discord does have a very nice emoji button built in here now. You can click this and then just type in what emoji you want for that category, and then you can go ahead and copy and paste the symbol that you copied to your clipboard and save your changes. And you can see already that looks much more aesthetic. The description as well. It's called coolsymbol.com. If you come here, they've got a bunch of really cool symbols that you can easily just copy and paste inside your Discord server. So you're welcome to come here and browse through some of the different options that they have here that you can just copy and paste into your channel names. So first we're going to go through and do the category. Since I've already got this symbol copied, we're going to click edit category, and then like I mentioned, Discord does have a very nice emoji. Button built in here now. You can click this and then just type in what emoji you want for that category, and then you can go ahead and copy and paste the symbol and copy to your clipboard and save your changes. And you can see already that looks much more
Are
aesthetic.
you feeling bored?
No, I have tuition now. Tell them it's 4 o'clock.
Is it 4 o'clock?
Yeah, it's 3:55.
And then?
Next 4 o'clock.
Happy.
Happy. What the? Hey yo, what the? Hey yo, what the? What the? Oh, skibbity toilet. Skibbity toilet. Skibbity toilet. Skibbity toilet.
And then for our channels, like I mentioned, we're going to be using that nice little bullet point symbol. So we'll come here again, we'll type in an emoji that we want for our actual channel, and then we'll go ahead and put in that symbol there, and then we'll save our channel.
Did the time just now already changed?
No, it is 4:57.
57. Behind is
And
6.
you can see this
And
gives
then
it a
it's
very
7.
nice
And
visual.
that means
So we'll go
it's
ahead and come here and do the
7.
same thing for our
Bruh.
rules channel. So we'll go ahead and select an emoji that we want for the rules channel. I'm going to go with this little paper scroll. We'll say
And
What
G.
happened? You're sleepy?
Yeah. It will take me a long time to finish this stick man.
Yes.
Just as like your cartoons,
Uh-huh.
like frame.
Uh,
Do you know what a frame means? It's a frame that hold which is in your screen.
if our
Oh,
channel is
yeah.
there.
Yeah,
We'll
which
do
you're
one more
watching.
channel for the announcements
If
channel.
you
We'll go ahead
pause
and
it,
edit the
and
channel
then
name. We'll go ahead for the
Press
announcements.
another
We'll do a
one
nice little
button like this and like this. Then the another frame will come, and then if it's faster, then it looks like the character is moving. and it's called a frame, then it will be too long for you to make it, and it will be take for 100 times to do it.
Okay.
Megaphone symbol. We'll paste our little dot symbol there, save our changes, and then you can see that is a very nice looking layout. So for time's sake, I went ahead and
One down.
Go. Good call. It's time machine.
Okay.
Hmm.
I don't need to wake. She's already awake.
Really?
Mom, I need to know. 4 o'clock time. TV on ಇಲ್ಲ